Here's part 7 of sculpting Steve Ditko's Spider-Man. As you can see, I did a little surgery off camera. Let's see now. Where the heck are my tools? There we go. I eliminated the incorrect reference and I brought in the real reference, the real poster. And it's lining up pretty well. So what all I did off camera was to pull this arm in right here. See, it was much further out over there. If you look at the previous video, the arm is way out here. And I changed the eye holes. That's the other thing. By moving the arm in, I kind of destroyed this nice clean scribe line, so I had to do that over again. And I changed the black and white of the eye to match the poster more. If you watch episode 4, you'll see that I try to make the eyes a little bit like Steve Ditko drew the eyes, thinking that, I try to do this, thinking that they changed the poster. And they did change the poster, but they didn't change the eyes. I thought that never mind. It's not important. This is the way Ditko drew them in this poster. This is Ditko, apparently. This is all his work. This is his ink work and his pencils. And he drew them like this. He didn't draw them like with the thin whites. So anyway, let's get busy. That's all I did. I changed the color to match this lighter blue. This poster is all yellowed. The paper's all yellowed. So that light blue is turning a little greenish, little turquoise kind of color. So I just corrected it. But other than that, I think it's pretty close to the poster. And let's try to do these web lines today. Okay, so what I'm going to do, let me turn off that reference. I'm going to bring in a plane. I'm going to append a plane 3D, this one. And let's see now. You can see a plane. Whoa, that's the torso. The plane is one-sided. If I turn it around, you don't see it. So I want to see the other side. So what I'm going to do, I wonder if I could, I'm sure there's a way that I can turn that mesh into lines. I'm sure there's a way to do that, but I don't know how to do it. So I'm just going to do it by hand. But that's neither here nor there. I'm going to go to display properties and I'm going to hit double. And by doing that, I can see both sides of this plane. It's paper thin, you can see, right? So I'm just going to use this plane and stick it under his arm as a placeholder or as a base where I'm going to be able to draw those web lines. So let's see now. Let me shrink it down. And let's see. Just trying to figure it out. Okay. Let's get a move brush. Something like that. Oh, it's got to go in further, like there. So I'm just going to grab the move brush and by hand, let me pull up my reference so I can match it if I can. Okay, so it goes down to the belt and it goes past the hand and into the wrist. So we've got the wrong angle, first of all. Let's go that way. Okay. let's grab the move brush and just kind of pull it into place. And we want it to tuck up under that armpit somehow. Now, he's got you know one of these under each arm. So, but if you look at the the poster, you don't see the other one. But we have to assume it's there. It would be silly to just have one arm with the webbing and one arm without it. That would not look cool. So the trick is going to be to hide it from the front view. Put it in there, but hide it from the money shot. All right, so this is going to work. I'm just trying to get it to look okay from both sides. Just pushing and pulling. And I haven't decided yet. I'm going to see how it looks. If if I'm going to make the webbing hollow, meaning the holes in the webbing, or if I'm going to leave this solid wing here and just make raised lines for the webbing. If I were doing this traditionally, obviously I would leave this wing here and just kind of take a wax pen maybe and draw the web lines, because molding this traditionally would be a nightmare. Molding just the web pattern like that, you need a pressure pot and you need a big sprue to pour the resin into. But with 3D printing, it's not going to be a problem. I think you can print it even if it's delicate like that. So anyway, let's leave that one alone and let's bring in another plane, append a plane, and we'll tuck this one under the other arm and just make sure that we hide it from the front view, which I think is not going to be a problem. So let me turn on double for that piece. Double. There we go. And yeah, I think this is gonna work just fine. Okay. Yeah, that'll work. And let's see. Let me pull it up like this. Let's see now. Actually, let's pull this corner up like that. And we're going to boolean out the rest of it, so we don't have to worry about it popping out of the front like this. Or we could just tuck it down like that for now. There we go. So there you go. There's the other web. And you can see that you can't see it from the front. Okay? So that's going to work. Now, I just have to draw onto this. I have to draw the web lines. Now this is cheating a little bit. I'm locked into this one, because that's the one you see in the reference. So I have to put it here on the belt, and it attaches up here near the wrist somewhere. So I'm kind of locked into that. But if I could cheat this one a little bit, I don't have to go all the way down to the wrist. But let's just make it a little bit more like the other side. All right. Okay. Now, let's get the, let's start to draw the web lines. So we're going to take a, let me see, let me turn on transparency and see through that. Wow, see, that's a big part. All that excess is going to get trimmed away. So let me just divide this a couple of times. And do the same on the other one. Divide, divide, divide. Let me paint a mask here so I know, and then I'll invert this just so I know where I have to stop, where I don't have to, what's visible. Do you know what I'm saying? It'll become clear as soon as I invert this mask. Okay, so where it's masked, that's what you're going to see. And that's where the web lines have to be. Everything outside of this mask is going to get clipped when I boolean the body from it. Right? So this dark area, that's the only place I need to draw the web lines. So let me invert that. Whoops. There we go. And I don't need to go past the light green area. I don't need to go past there with web lines. So let's see if we can do this. We're going in a horizontal diagonal direction that way, and then again that way. Curved tube snap, I'm going to get a very tiny one. And just start drawing some lines. Oh, I have subdivisions. We can't do this with subdivisions, so let's delete lower. And let's just start to go. Ready? 1, 1, well, see, it's hitting the body, so let me isolate it. 1. Oh, it messed. Oh, well. You know what? I'm not going to be able to do what I wanted to do. Oh, you know what? I could use polygroups. So let's do that. And I don't even need a mask. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Now this is not going to be exact, obviously. It's not going to, I'm not going to count the web lines. But hopefully it'll just indicate enough, it'll feel like it. Oops. Okay. I guess if I were doing this traditionally and the client said we want these web things under his arm, I guess the way I would handle it would be styrene, strips of styrene, strips of plastic tubes, and just crisscross them. And then I would have to mold that, though, which would be a nightmare. So you would probably have to keep the solid wing part to mold that. Okay, let's go the other way now. Yeah, that's going to make it bumpy if I go over it like that. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to clear the mask. I'm going to group visible, split hidden, and I'll hide those. See that the plane that I'm drawing them on is so thin that you see it right through, you see the tubes right through the plane. Those are the same tubes, it's just so paper thin, you know? So if I eliminate that backing sheet there, it's gonna be good. I'll be able to print that. So let me hide those lines, and where am I? There they are. Let's hide those guys, and let's go back the other way. That looks a little bit bigger. Hang on. Hang on. That looks roughly the same size. Maybe it's a little bit bigger. Let me go down one notch. All right. You ready? Let's go this way. I draw it out, tap, draw it out, tap, draw it out, tap. Because if I don't tap, you see the dotted line is still there. It will want to continue that tube. And if I tap it, it locks it in. Okay. Now you see I'm going outside the area a little bit just to give me a little extra room. All that will be trimmed off when I boolean the body from these tubes. And it'll be a perfect fit. It should be a perfect fit. Okay. Clear the mask. Clear that. Group visible. Split hidden. Okay. And now let's see what we've got here. Let's merge the two down. Where's my torso? There's my torso. All right, so it's a little bit more it's a little bit bigger than, not as dense as the artwork. But that's okay. I don't want it to be too fine. So let's see here. Let me. Yeah, I'm gonna do it this way. I'm gonna merge these down, color them black, so I could see them. There we go. And I'm gonna eliminate that. So now that's just webbing. And I think that's going to print, believe it or not. I think I'm not going to have any trouble with this. I may. It may be pretty delicate, but maybe I'll inflate that a little before. Or, let me just save my work here. Hang on one second. Save as Spidey 38, new pose, save. And I can get rid of that plane. I'm just thinking, sorry about this. So these should be two colors. Right, okay. So I can duplicate this and make it a little bit denser, like the artwork. Let me, just so I don't get confused, let me delete this plane. Delete. And you can see there's an open area here. I'm going to have to close that off. But let me try something else. Let me group split, and let me duplicate this one and move it upward. There you go. Now it's kind of matching the artwork a little bit better. You see that? It's a little bit more dense. The holes are a little smaller. And that will help with the strength as well when I print it. Interesting. Okay, that's going to work. And if I really want to get crazy, you see how some of them are real tight together and some of them are further apart? I can hit auto groups and then go over to brush, mask, auto masking, and turn this mask by polygroups, turn that all the way up to 100. And then whatever web I touch with the move brush, I can move individual strands. So whatever one I touch, only that polygroup is going to move. I touch this green one, only that one is going to move. I touch this darker green one, only that one is going to move. And I could even them out a little bit better and space them out a little bit nicer. So I think that's pretty cool. I think I'm gonna go with this. Okay, this one I don't need, and this one, auto groups. This one I don't need. So let's do delete hidden and delete hidden. Okay, now this, let's see, auto groups. I'm going to pull this one inward. Whoops. Where's my move? Yeah, there we go. I'm going to pull this green one upward. Why is that not working? Hang on. What the heck is going on here? I'm trying to grab this move, right? I'm trying to grab this thing. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. And pull it up so it's shorter. Now I'll do the same. No, that one is good. I'm going to do the same with this so that it just, comes to the edge of that and it's not hanging down. Not grabbing it. There we go. I could just trim this if I wanted to, but this is easier and cleaner. Come on. And one more. Okay. So now everything is looking okay. Those top ones are a little curvy. I don't like that. And they definitely need to be touching, so let me check that. They're not touching the other webs. Huh. So let me see if I can do this manually. They're very curvy. I don't like that. We definitely want a grid pattern here. We don't want it. We don't want any floaters. That one I can eliminate. Delete hidden. And I still got that auto masking thing selected. So I'm only moving one polygroup at a time. That's a great, great feature, auto masking. All right, so I'm going to have to go through this and check each one of these to make sure that they're not floating out in space by themselves and that they're touching their friend over there and intersecting. But you get the idea. I mean, this purple guy is floating all by himself. That's not going to print unless he's attached to somebody. Okay. So anyway, you get the idea. I like that. And I'm going to noodle with this probably off camera and make it a little bit more neat. But I don't want to waste people's time here, so I'll leave it at that. Let me do the other side quickly. Okay, so we can merge all these webs down, merge down, and merge down. And let's leave those polygroups like that. And once I Boolean the figure out, see right now, this is what the shape looks like. It's a mess, right? But once I Boolean out the figure from that, it'll be a nice, crisp, oh well, you can't really see it right now, but once I punch out, wait a minute, I got the wrong thing here, hang on. There we go. That's the legs, that's why. So that's what it will look like. It'll be a nice, shape that fits right under the arm. Okay, so let's worry about that later. And let's save my work. Save as Spidey39. I've been having a lot of luck lately with my computer not crashing. So, knock on wood. See, that needs to come down past the hand because it will match the artwork better. There's like one more strand. It needs to come down just a little bit. So I'll noodle with that later on. Right now, I just want to get the rest of the webs done. Here's my plane. And let's see now. Let's just polygroup that like I did the other thing. Just so I can tell where the webbing ends. Okay. Control W, yep. And this one should go a little bit smoother because it's a much flatter surface. So let's grab our curved tubes brush and just do the same thing. I got to get rid of my subdivisions. Okay, that's too big, so let's go. I think I typed in 5 was my value. There we go. Tap, 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 and draw. Tap and draw. And I'm putting these a little bit spaced because I know I'm going to double them. Whoa, what the heck? I know I'm going to double them and slide them down to fill those gaps. I'm leaving a lot extra as well up top there. Whoops. Okay, one more. All right, clear the mask, clear that, group visible, and split hidden. Okay, now we'll go the other way. We'll go that way. So let's hide these, and we'll go this way. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so I hope you are getting something out of these little tutorials. I was thinking of doing a Patreon and doing something similar like this every week, doing a sculpture every month, you know, and do the videos each week. I'll do like one video, and at the end of the month you can get the file and print it at home if you like. But I'm still debating. I don't know if I'm gonna do that yet. So split hidden. Okay. So let's hide that and let's turn that on. And oh, this one is, you see, okay, I see what we need to do. Okay. I think I'm gonna have to redo this. This one is touching at all sides, and where it doesn't touch, you got a horizontal web going that way. This one has got all open areas. Now I could put a horizontal web right at the bottom, but I probably should make the webs go this way. And let's see, if I go that way, how would I would have to go, yeah, maybe it's easier to just see what this will look like. Let's see what this is going to look like. Let's put a web along the bottom. Actually, let's make this one a little bit larger. So it'll anchor it. Let's make this 6 or 7. 7. And tap it. And that'll make it a little bit thicker. Okay, split hidden. And this ought to work. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. I don't like the way that looks. I think they all should be going in that direction. Yeah. Sorry guys, I don't want to waste time, so I'm going to wrap this video up, and I'm going to do this correctly. But you see how I'm doing it. It's, I'm just going to go in this direction. And then, yeah, I want it to be right. Even though you don't even see it from the money shot at all. I want it to be correct, and I want it to kind of match this side. So I'm going to wrap this video up. Thank you again for looking, and I'll come back with part 8. And I think we're getting real close to the scribe lines, the web lines. And we're going to pretty much do it the same way. We're going to just draw them on and just boolean them out of the red areas. And I also want to put Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man on the base in this exact same script. And I'll show how to do that. Okay, thank you again for looking, and I'll talk to you soon.